This is exactly what you need in order to set up payroll. First, make sure that there is an absolutely need to set it up, meaning you're going to bring aboard some help, and never try this shortcut, and that is to pay somebody 1099 when they should really be a W-2 wage earner employee of your business. There could be some very stiff penalties from both the IRS and the state whenever you do this misclassification. Okay, but now you're ready to hire somebody. One of the first things you should do is consider what type of schedule do you want. The schedule number one should be the pay period. And the second thing that coincides with that is the pay date. First, determine maybe the pay date. Are you going to pay somebody on a weekly basis, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, monthly? And if so, then determine the pay dates first. I think to me, one of the best options is to have it on a semi-monthly. Semi-monthly means on 2 different fixed dates per month. It could be on the 5th and the 20th, on the 10th and the 25th. And let's say you do have the pay dates on that type of schedule, the 10th and the 25th. For the pay period on the 10th of the month, the pay period could be from the prior month, from the 16th all the way through the end of the month, and then payday is 10 days later, something to that effect. And then the pay period from the 1st through the 15th, the pay date is then on the 25th of the month. And now you want to make sure that you're at least registered with an EIN with the IRS. If you're self-employed, you have to then apply for an EIN. If you've established an LLC, C Corp, S Corp, more than likely you have the EIN from the moment you started up the business. Second of all, you may have to do some state registration. Sometimes you don't do the state registration as an employer when you start up a business, and now's the time to do so. And if so, register and apply with your state employment department, such as here in California is the California EDD, with who you must register with. Now, the taxes and forms, it's good for you to understand what it exactly that it is that you file and pay. First and foremost, you must account for each of the employees' withholding. And the employees' withholding all depends on how they fill out the W-4 form, and if there's a state, whatever state withholding form that they do fill out. The other part is you have to account for the employee's FICA tax, their Social Security and Medicare. And now that you're an employer, you have to now pay the employer portion of the FICA, employer Social Security and employee Medicare. And you also now have the obligation of paying employer FICA taxes, Social Security, and Medicare as the employer. You account for these taxes on a quarterly form known as 941 with the IRS. I know it sounds complicated, but it's really easy once you get the ball rolling, and I'm going to introduce a fairly easy payroll service provider that can handle all of this from A to Z, no problem. Certain states also have the requirements to file quarterly, make certain deposits, and also pay quarterly. And of course, at the end of the year, you have to file each of the W-2s with the IRS, give the employees their copy, and also the summary of the W-3 with the IRS. And once again, it sounds more complicated than what it is, and they have one of the best payroll service providers that we could set you up with. And some of the tools and benefits of using our payroll service provider is that everything gets accurately calculated for you, all deposits are made, all quarterly taxes filed, and employees get their own pay stubs. In addition, it has a built-in time clock that integrates completely with the payroll. It has geolocation. That way you know exactly where the employees are when they're clocking in and clocking out. Running payroll, there's next day direct deposits available. All the tools and benefits come in really handy at tax time because you have all the reports and everything else you do need to be in compliance and out of the hairs of the IRS or the state taxing agencies. If you would like my team to go ahead and set you up, comment the word payroll below and we'll make sure that we set you up.